All righty. This one is yes. Okay, everyone, at this point, you should take your phone and put it away. If you have something in your ear, you should take it off. I see you, young man, right there. Take it out of your ear. If you have a problem with being here and being respectful, there's several doors in the back. See the sign that says EXIT, exit? Go ahead. If you cannot be respectful to our guests here, there's the door. Don't be afraid to use it. Anyone? So good morning to you all. Before we start the official presentation, let's just take a quick acknowledgement of you do realize why you're here today. So using the cues around you, would someone be willing to share why you think you're here right now? Okay, please stand up and in a loud voice say why you think you're here. Okay, so celebrate Veterans Day and honor the individuals who have spent time in their lives defending the United States of America. So if you didn't realize, yesterday you were off from school to celebrate or honor Veterans Day. So again, our pre-information. Does anyone in the audience know why specifically yesterday? Like, there are some holidays in the United States we don't celebrate on the day. Other holidays we do celebrate on the day. Could anyone tell me the significance of yesterday's date and why that is Veterans Day? Yes.
Was it the end of World War II?
He said the end of World War II. Could anyone say if that is correct or not correct? Okay, I heard a couple of people say not correct. So someone who said not correct, do we know what it was? Someone in the audience. Yes. The end of World War I. So the date yesterday was what date? November 11th. So very specific, November 11th, at the 11th hour of the 11th day, the end of World War I, that was supposed to be the war to end all wars. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So one more part of our pre-assembly activity. So if there is a direct member in your family who had ever served in the military, please stand up. Young person, please keep those glasses off. Okay, so when we celebrate Veterans Day, not only do the individuals who actively served, did they sacrifice something, but also all individuals who had a loved one go off to serve in the military, they also gave up something for the United States. So while we're here, those are the things I want to think about. You saw there was a number of people who stood up, having people who served in the military. Okay, so now we'll start with our official part of the program, and JRTC will present colors. Everyone is to stand up, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Stand up. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Hey, so if you did not realize it, there are several different areas of the military that you could have service in. So these are the, I don't know, what would you call like the different branch, but like the specific branch emblems, different branch emblems for the service. So what is a veteran? So look very closely at this, but there's a light. Hold on one second.
Glenn, this first one, the second one, why until you make it go back up?
Sorry, one person does technical. So what is a veteran? A veteran, whether they're active duty, discharged, retired, or in reserve, is someone who at one point in their life wrote a blank check. Now, you guys don't use checks anymore, so I feel like I have to, this would be like giving someone 100% access to your Apple Pay, Venmo account. It means everything that you have, you're giving it. So who are you giving it to? Well, veterans have given that check, given their lives to the United States of America. For what amount? For amount up to including their life. This is what these individuals on the stage have done. This is what your family members who have served in the military have done. Your life does not become your own anymore. It becomes the United States government's. But really the United States of America. That is what your life becomes. That is an honor. And today, there are many people in this country who no longer understand that fact. And I'm just going to skip ahead to one part just to show you. So currently today, there's 15.8 million living veterans in the United States, approximately. But right. But what has happened since when I started doing these presentations, I'm just going to the people. So we have a long history of inviting veterans here to Westhill. These are all names of some of the people who have visited us at some point over the time of me doing this. You see, World War II veterans. At one point in time, I had a long list of individuals who came here who served in World War II. So does anyone in the audience, you could tell me, when did World War II end? Anyone? Go ahead, thank you. 1945. If someone was still alive and was fought in World War II, approximately, how old would they be today? Okay, quick math. There would have to be at least 100. At least 100. So when we had all these people who came here for years, they are no longer here to tell the story of their lives, of their service. And they're no longer a presence because they're no longer with us. And you see, like, through the years, so we had people from the Korean War. Many of them also are no longer with us. Vietnam War. And then, unfortunately, I didn't keep great record keeping, and I don't have necessarily the names of all these people of when they served. But these are all people who have come here over the years to share their lives with the students of Westhill. Why? Because what's happening is the memory of what it means to have fought in a war, the patriotism associated with it, but then also the horrors of war. Those stories aren't being said anymore. And they're becoming more and more precious, because what happens if you forget history? You're doomed to repeat it. So the significance of you being here, of listening to people who have served, and just understanding like the role of there are people who are willingly giving their lives each and every day for a greater good, and that's the good of this country. That's why it's significant. And as we have, again, less and less people are being called veterans because there are less people in the military and less people who are living just due to age. Okay, so we're just going to also watch this one little video that we're getting to people here on the stage. This just sets it also in
3 teens were arrested today for defacing the Kensington Park War Memorial overnight. The destruction includes painted messages against the military and the war in the Middle East. The 3 teens were picked up in the early Friday hours. Evidence was left at the
Grandpa, something wrong?
Some people sure have short memories, and those who are too young to know need to be taught. Come on, I want to show you guys something.
I didn't stop, so I didn't. That was insane. Because of even today, December 7th, 1841, a week later, in United States of America, with the stars of the free of your shed, by laying their forehead of institution, let their
At dawn, the morning of the 6th of June, 1944, 225 Rangers jumped off the British landing craft and ran to the bottom of these cliffs. 225 came here. After 3 days of fighting, only 90 could still bear arms. These are the boys who fled below of the 220 days. These are the men who took the cliffs. These are the champions who helped free a continent. These are the heroes who helped end a war. You are men who in your quoted lives fought for life. You can lift the vivid air signed with your honor.
In the name of God and country, I learned to defy gravity. To honor my family, I lived in the belly of a beast. I fixed the hearts of iron monsters.
I became a worm in the mud for dignity, for honor, for righteousness' sake, for God and country.
I fought for you.
I fought for you, fought for you. I fought for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you. For you.
For you.
For you.
For you. I fought for you. I fought for you.
I fought for you, and I do it again.
1 year. I tell them like that. And we're recording. What your time are you to you? What you don't know what to read. I can get up from right here. It's Munger. It's actually here. It's well without that. I can see.
So what do you think is most appropriate for you to do at this point? Okay, so at this point, we're going to introduce our veterans who are honor guests here today, and then we're going to have just a brief reading of the history of Veterans Day, and then we're going to get to our people on the stage. Hello. Well, I know this one works. So if you could just introduce yourself, name, basic information.
Okay. My name is Thomas Patterson. I was a corporal in the United States Army, 25th Infantry. I joined during Operation Desert Storm, which is known as the Gulf War today. I didn't see combat, but I joined during that time. I was a mechanic. I fixed machines and pumps and engines and air conditioning units and things to that nature. And I'm honored to be here.
Oh, I'm Don Hartman. I joined the Army. I was Canadian when I joined. I came back, I went to Vietnam, came back, got my citizenship, and served proudly as a veteran. I've been with my friends, my neighbors, my sisters and my brothers ever since, and I'm proud to have done that. Thank you very much for coming here. Thank you for saluting the flag. Don't ever forget that. And I'll say good day. Bye-bye.
Hi, good morning. My name is Cheryll Duerk. I was a captain in the United States Army. I was also in the reserves. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. Anyway, the bottom line is that it's an honor to be here. I graduated from Westhill High School, so it's really great to come back and see everybody that's new here. Thank you. Anyway, and it's an honor, and thank you all for having us.
Good morning. My name is Chris Munger. I graduated from high school in 1955, joined the Marine Corps Reserve at that time, spent 4 years in the Marine Corps Reserve. And while I was there, I was asked by my company commander, would you be interested in going to the Naval Academy? Huh? Yes. So I spent 4 years at the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Upon graduation, I was commissioned back into the Marine Corps. Spent 6 years in the Marine Corps, 2 in Vietnam, 2 at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina with 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines, and 2 at Quantico, Virginia, training officers who were commissioned now to act and be officers. And that was the best time, I think, in the service was at Quantico, because I got to meet about 100 young men at that time, and and off they went to war. I lost my first roommate. He was flying in Vietnam. He got shot down and killed. I lost my second roommate when he was killed after 13 months in Nam. He was killed in a train accident off the coast of North Carolina, flying in jets. When I got out in 1969 out of the Marine Corps, I immediately turned around and went back to Quantico and attended FBI training and became a special agent in the FBI, which I was for 25 years. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I was obviously living in Stamford, Connecticut. I had 4 children at that time. One of them followed me into the Marine Corps. My dad was a World War II Army vet, and my grandson, my Marine officer's son, my grandson just retired, just left the United States Coast Guard, and he was stationed in Boston, Mass. So every generation since World War II has been a member of the service. That's all I have to say. That's enough.
Good morning. My name is Alan Gerard, and first of all, I'd like to say I'm also a graduate of Westhill, 1981, and probably one of you is sitting in the same seat that I sat in this auditorium many years ago. Anyway, I served in the United States Navy and the Navy Reserve for 30 years. I retired with the rank of captain. I joined at the end of the Cold War era, and I saw some action in Bosnia, Persian Gulf, Iraq and Afghanistan before I retired. It's great to be back here in Westhill. Thank you for coming out and showing your support.
Well, good morning. Most of you know who I am, but I served the United States Army 3 years, 1971 to 74. They taught me and trained me to be the teacher, and I'm still a teacher today. Construction drafting, Fort Belvoir, Virginia. A lot of good memories. This is about you and your future. You are the potential leaders of tomorrow. It's great to see you out there, and I can always go into more later, but that's enough about me. Thank you very much. Ben?
Good morning. My name is Ken Weinberg. I am a Marine Corps veteran. I attained the rank of sergeant. My specialty was chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear weapons defense. I trained and prepared and provided guidance for Marines and sailors to operate safely in environments contaminated by weapons of mass destruction. I enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1999. 18 months later, 9/11 happened and the world changed. And I'm proud of my service in support of Iraq, Afghanistan, and the war on terrorism. I served from 1999 to 2007. It's a privilege and an honor to be here to speak to you students and with these great veterans and share our stories. Thank you.
Howdy, everyone. You might recognize me, Mr. Ng. I'm a captain in the Army National Guard. I'm a military intelligence officer, originally enlisted as a medic. Thank you all for being here, and I appreciate your attention.
Thank you. Oh. And speaking of attention, there seems to be some young people like in the middle there who, I don't know, are you okay? Are you okay? You seem to have like dozed off or something. Are you okay? Do you need a medic? I don't know, he's wearing a gray hoodie. Seems like, just want to make sure you're okay. Like, wouldn't want you not to be okay. Okay. So we will have one speaker before we get back to our honored guest, just to give us a context of the history of Veterans Day. So the individual has the history of Veterans Day. History. Okay, yeah, hold it up like this.
Okay. So Veterans Day originated as Armistice Day on November 11, 1919, the first anniversary of the end of World War I. Armistice Day officially received its name in America in 1926 through a congressional resolution to have it as an annual observance. It became a national holiday 12 years later in 1938 by similar congressional action. If the idealistic hope had been realized that World War I was the war to end all wars, November 11th might still be called Armistice Day. But only a few years after the holiday was proclaimed, war broke out in Europe. 16.5 million Americans took part. 407,000 of them died in service, more than 292,000 in battle. Realizing that peace was equally preserved by veterans of World War II and Korea, Congress was requested to make this day an occasion to honor those who have served America in all wars. In 1954, President Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day. Veterans Day is not to be confused with Memorial Day, a common misunderstanding, according to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Memorial Day, the fourth Monday in May, honors American service members who died in service to their country or as a result of injuries incurred during battle, while Veterans Day pays tribute to all American veterans, living or dead, but especially gives thanks to living veterans who served their country honorably during war or peacetime.
Thank you.
Forget Me Not by Bill Chance. Remember rockets' red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag is still there. Our forefathers, reminder of a price to be paid and responsibility to inherit the United States. Rockets' red glare, bombs bursting in air, words fallen on ears unwilling to hear. Deaf no more, we all know now, the price of freedom, the price of war. Freeborn children, listen and see a new generation paying for you and me. Don't be so blind or so deaf to the sights and sounds Americans have left. Let freedom scream in our ears and minds and never forget those left behind. Reborn children, stand tall and see, does the banner old glory yet wave for thee. God bless America.
Thank you. So when I said context of when I started, well, I have this written down, 2010, there were 23 million living veterans. Today, 15.8. So that's a significant difference. It's very hard with numbers, but that's a significant difference in the number of people who have who have served in the military. So now we'd like to ask each of our veterans, how did you decide to go into the military if it was your choice? That's the first question. And then the second question, we'll come back around, is what does being a veteran mean to you? So we could start either side, or we could start with, youngest, oldest, prettiest. Okay. Prettiest.
So joining the military for me was a choice well after the draft had ended. So I wanted to fly airplanes. I wanted to be a pilot, and even started in high school, but I didn't act on it. I went to college, studied engineering, thought maybe I'd design airplanes. But no, I wanted to fly airplanes. So I joined the military, and they taught me to fly airplanes. Flew airplanes all over the world, got to land on aircraft carriers, and it gave me quite a unique skill besides the confidence, discipline, and leadership abilities to do stuff after military life. And I used that skill flying for my current job as a pilot for an airline, and it's a pretty good life. So the military gave me that opportunity and gave me those skills to do well in life and to succeed. And I hope that all of you don't have to go to the military, but use your time here in high school, if you go off to college, and really put yourself to the test and be all you can be. I remember here in high school, took one of those tests where they said, what do you want to be? And I said, well, I want to be a pilot. Yeah, I want to do some other crazy stuff. And they go, oh, you'll never do that. You're a dreamer. So don't let anybody tell you that you can't follow your dreams and you can't become who you want to be. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. I joined, make a very long story short, because my father served in the Navy in World War II, and he was the boss of the family. I'm sure everybody's parents or grandparents, whatever, the boss of the family. I wanted to outrank him someday. I wanted him to have to salute me, because he was always bossing me around. So my goal was to outrank him, which I ended up doing. So I was very proud of that. But anyway, the bottom line was I thought about the military from the time I was in high school and just didn't do it for various reasons until I was much older, after I graduated college and I was working in the corporate world and decided that that's not for me, that the military was for me. And that's when I joined the Army. Don't regret it at all. Like I said, there's the Army Reserve also, which means that you do 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. So you can still have a civilian job, which is what I did part of the time I was in the military. That gives you rewards, benefits, and everything else. So that's another option for you guys to think about. You do active duty time for training, and then you do your reserve duty on the weekends. So again, thank you all for having us, and I'll talk to you later.
Hello, like I said before, my name is Don Hartman. I joined the military when, way back when, you guys probably don't remember, but there was a president named John Kennedy. it was an honor to join the military back then and salute the flag, and that's what I did. I was pleased to spend my 3 years in the service, and I'm proud to say I was there. Thank you for being here, guys. And like Mr. Gerard said, don't ever give up on your dreams. Be what you want to be and be proud. Thank you for there. Oh, I'd like to say one thing. I'd like to shout out to my nephew who's here. And how you doing, Logan?
That's dang.
I hesitated. I didn't want to go first because my story is different from a lot of other ones that joined. It was a little bit of pride, but mine was more of a tragic story. I was in high school, just like you guys, sitting around, and I grew up in New York City. I'm from Brooklyn, and back in those days, it was rough, and still kind of rough. But there was a lot of violence going on, a lot of gang activity. It was in the 80s. Crack was king. If you ever seen the movie New Jack City, how many of you ever seen that movie? It was real. I lived it. But anyway, I saw someone get shot. I saw some people get stabbed. I was attacked on the subway. Things were just going south real fast. And I was just like you guys, just sitting here wondering, what am I going to do with my life? Took a test, got hired on the railroad. It was a good job, but it wasn't fulfilling for me. I was still dealing with the everyday life of dodging bullets, drive-by shootings, people getting shot, killed, the news, and wondering when it was going to be my time, if I was going to be next. So I saw this commercial one day on TV about the military, all branches of service. The Army had a slogan, be all you can be. But I wound up going to the Navy, took the test for a particular job, didn't score high enough. So I said, I blew it off. So I went back. Well, the Marines basically said, we'll take you. You could become infantry. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I pondered for a little bit longer. I went to McDonald's one day and I saw that sign again, be all you can be. So I walked up to the recruiting station and the recruiter there was like, well, I could help you. I said, well, I took the test for the Navy. They said it wasn't high enough for the job I wanted. The Marines said they'll take me, but they wanted to make me infantry. And at that time, Desert Shield was going on. It was before Desert Storm. So time went by. I took the test again. I passed. We were fighting war. It was Desert Storm at the time, the Gulf War. Everybody said to me, are you crazy? We're about to go to war. I said, hey, I'm already at war where I'm living. So I took the test, went into the Army, dodged the war. I was in the war during the wartime. We were next to go. One president came in. At that time, it was President George Herbert Bush. And at the time, President Clinton came in and they were pulling troops back. We were next to go. My group, we were always on standby, always on call. But anyway, what I learned in the military, like Alan said earlier, was leadership. It taught me skills of working together as a team, working as a unit, carrying your weight, helping the ones. If you see someone struggling, you lift them up and you pull them up. It's not about you, it's about the team. It taught me teamwork, working together, resilience of recreating who I was, who I am as a person, and I still carry that to this day. Because of that skill set that I was taught in the military, I look at veterans today, and I'm so thankful now that me and a group of other veterans have created something called the Stamford Veterans Resource Center, where we outreach and help veterans each and every day with all kinds of needs, struggling, whether in peacetime or war. And I'm proud to say that I'm a part of that community to help put that together.
Well, to
To touch on going into the military, my situation was fairly easy. I was working in industry. I graduated the tech high school. I was working in industry, taking classes at night in Norwalk State Tech College for mechanical engineering. There was something called the draft going on, 1970. The yearbooks from 68 and 69, they had all the students on the cover that did not come back home. So it was a choice of being drafted, probably sent to Vietnam, and I wouldn't be here today, or enlisting. So for me, it was easy. I enlisted, and I'm so glad I did. As I said earlier, they made me the teacher that I became. So why did I go in the military? I did not want to get drafted and sent to Vietnam. However, if I had, I would have done the best I could. But in my case, I had a choice, and that's it. Thank you. Ken?
My reasons enlisting in the Marine Corps were 3 or 4-fold. 1, it was patriotism. 2, educational opportunity, which there is bountiful educational opportunities if you join the service, whether it be scholarship for college, job training, specialized training, or giving you a taste of an occupation you may want to go into professionally in civilian life. I also wanted the challenge. That's why I picked the Marine Corps in particular. I thought it would provide me the greatest challenge that I needed at the time, leaving high school, to find myself. And you will find yourself in the military. You learn many things about yourself in service. One of the biggest things is that you're all tougher than you think you are. Every one of you in this room is so much tougher than you think you are. And you just need to be tested and put through some experiences to discover that metal that exists underneath you. And I would be lying if I didn't say that I thought the Marine Corps had the best blues. The dress blues are a beautiful uniform. Today, I'm wearing my firefighter's dress uniform because as a veteran, we're about service. Although some veterans take the uniform off, they continue to serve. Some of us choose to put a different uniform on and continue to serve. I'm a firefighter in North Stamford, Long Ridge. I know there's many students and alumni of Westhill that have been junior firefighter volunteers up at Long Ridge and the various firehouses here in the city. And that's about service. And if I implore anything upon you about what it means to be a veteran and a citizen, it's to be of service. You don't need to put a uniform on to serve your community. You can serve your community right now at a food bank, at your house of worship, Toys for Tots. It's many of us veterans here volunteer at Toys for Tots. It's a Marine Corps started organization to provide toys for disadvantaged children and families during the holidays. The pride of being a veteran, and veterans are very prideful because we learn as being veterans to be part of a team. It's not about you. I know there's many students in here that take part in sports, and I'm preaching to the choir here when it comes to it's not about you, it's about the team, it's about mission accomplishment, it's about working together, esprit de corps. And you learn that in the military, and it gets driven into you. Gets into your blood, that you work together. You can't watch your own back, but you can watch your buddy's six. You can watch the back of the guy and the gal on either side of you, and you march forward down the field to accomplish the mission. They fall down, you pick them up. You fall down, they pick you up. But it's about the team. And the greater historical aspect of that is, as a veteran, we are part of a tradition that dates back to the beginning of our nation. When you look at the American flag, you have 13 stripes and 50 stars. It is a tapestry. It's a historical connection that veterans have dating back to the 13 colonies to the 50 states today. And veterans are proud of being the threads of that tapestry that weave together, that connect us from the beginning to today. So if there's one thing I leave you here with, is that be of service. You may not necessarily go into the armed forces, but be of service, because our experiment in democratic self-governance requires you to be active citizens. You can't be a bystander. We're all in this together. As you, on the Great Seal of the United States, says e pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one. We are a team, and we work together to make the dream happen. Thank you.
So I joined to make my parents angry. It's a great way to, spice up the home. Why I stayed was opportunity. I'll do the little recruiting pitch. I'm in the reserves, so much to Dr. Forbes' chagrin and Mr. Kaminsky, I'm still in right now. So, every month for 3 or 4 days, I have to go to a base, put on my Army uniform, and run around. But what that gave me is free college. So those of you that might be interested, the Connecticut National Guard, you can go to any state university, so CCSU, SCSU, UConn, Stanford, and as long as you're in the National Guard, tuition is free. Many of my soldiers take advantage of it. It's kind of a hidden secret, but if you go down the street and go to UConn, Stanford, and serve in the Guard, it's completely free. What it taught me, effort matters. I know quarter one just ended for everyone, but effort does count. Quarter one's done, bring in the effort to quarter two, keep on moving forward. All of these people up here on the stage at one time had a physical task that they just had to keep on going. It doesn't matter if it's pretty, it doesn't matter if you're, doing it to the most standard, beautiful standard, but you need to keep on moving forward. Keep on doing that one last push-up, keep writing that one last assignment, keep on running. Effort does matter. And as you guys go through life, effort will kind of delineate you between those who succeed and those who fail. You just got to keep on trying.
Thank you. Let's see it. Hold on. I said, we're going to the top.
Morning again. I know I may be a little long in the tooth. I neglected to say that 4 of my children, I had 4 children, they all graduated from Roxbury across the street, Westhill. My one son went into the Marine Corps, and he was an ROTC graduate out of Miami of Ohio. Getting back to me, I went into the FBI after my Marine Corps service, and I got to say this, there were a lot of former Marines and servicemen in the FBI, including, I think I had about 125 agents who were graduates of the United States Naval Academy, and some were from West Point and Air Force Academy. I think I've talked long enough, but right now, when I retired from the FBI, I trained cops in Rockland County. Mainly, they asked me to come over there because I trained cops as an FBI agent in New York City. And I'm still volunteering. I'm a member of the Toys for Tots program here in Stamford. Anybody, if you want to come down and help us out, we're at 1111 Summer Street. We're going to be starting the end of October to get ready. And I'm a fire commissioner in Stamford. I started the CERT team, the Community Emergency Response Team in Stamford. And I'm on the Veterans Park Committee, so it doesn't stop. I think it'll stop when I hang this up and they close the lid. But I've enjoyed volunteer work here in Stamford also. That's it. Doctor?
Thank you. Okay. I know that maybe you heard the bell, but we're gonna finish this correctly and not correctly. So I'm gonna give this presentation to your teachers, and they could put it on your Google Classroom. On this slide tells you all ways that you, as a student, if you're inspired to do something and contribute to the veterans community or just serve our community in general, there's a list of ideas here of what you could do. So I will share the presentation with your teachers so that you have that available. So to end, we just need the reading of TAPS. So I think, yep, let you know.
Need it? Thank you. Many of you recognize the melody of taps. Most people, though, do not know the story behind taps or its meaning. Historically, in the military, a signal was given out that the duty day was done. This signal was beat or tapped out on a drum. This method persisted until the American Civil War. Colonel Dan Butterfield was a soldier and a musician. He found the tapping signal on a drum to be ineffective. Ironically, Colonel Butterfield used the head of a drum as a table to compose a musical signal to be played on a bugle. Other units heard Colonel Butterfield's taps and adopted it. Soon it was officially adopted and replaced the drum signal. To this day, millions of American servicemen and women end their duty day to the sound of taps. Additionally, taps is sounded to render honors at memorial ceremonies. It is also sounded at military funerals to signal the end of duty for a service. As we conclude our program today with the sounding of taps, reflect upon the sacrifices of the millions of Americans who served their country, and the last honor and thanks for their service was the playing of this bugle call. Thank you.
So please stand, and at the conclusion, you may come up and introduce yourself to a veteran if you want, and then be on your way. But please stand for the playing of taps. Thank you for your participation. So you're good. I'll still give you the.
Great job. Thank you.
Oh, so picture, but we changed. That would be helpful. Just go up. You can go up. No, the chairs you don't have to have away. It's more just like my stuff I have to take upstairs. let's just leave the flowers down. Don't do anything. Oh, sorry.
She said not the chairs. She said to take some of her stuff up to her room.
So, no, but first let me take the picture before take everything. And then we have all that food over there too. But maybe someone will have something before they leave.